Didn't he mention it when the police were interviewing him the night that he was arrested?
You'd have to ask him that.
What are you doing the night of the call? Well, I'm gonna remember it. And hopefully that's gonna clear me up, dude.
You know, these guys are telling me that I killed some 16-year-old girl. Like, the date was irrelevant to me at that point.
I asked Juan some details about the game. Juan has a fantastic ability to recall games, plays, details. Because I think they may have been filming something there that day.
Been to hundreds of Dodger games and never have I seen them film anything there. And, you know, this particular day, they were there.
All he remembered were security personnel blocking the aisle and this man walking up and down the stairs for the different takes. So I went back to Dodger Stadium, walked with Sam to the media relations department. The person that was there pulled out this big calendar book. Watched her start flipping April, May, and like all these pages are blank. She turns to May 12th, and damn if there isn't an entry on May 12th. And it had some kind of obscure production company name. I didn't recognize it, but it had a phone number. I called it up, and they answer, HBO.
I get a cold call from a guy, this is Todd Melnick, I'm a lawyer, and he tells me this crazy story.
He says, well, we don't usually release any pre-production footage. You'll have to wait until it airs.
My first thought is, this guy's nuts, and secondly, there's 56,000 people at this game. How could this guy possibly be on camera?
I said, I need to find anything. I need to place my client at Dodger Stadium on that night.
Meantime, I talked to Larry, and I'm like, Larry, there's this guy that says, you know, his guy's in jail, and he's a lawyer, and they remember camera crews being there, and they think it's us.
What's that song? What is that song?
Curb Your Enthusiasm was a comedy that was on HBO. It starred Larry David, the creator of Seinfeld.
At the time, the name Larry David didn't ring a bell to me. I had no idea that he was this mega huge Hollywood star.
He's right, of course, in referring to me as a mega huge star. That is totally accurate about it. Yeah.
So he said, okay, when can you come down? I said, how about tomorrow? He says, okay, tomorrow.
Just hearing that, like, you know, he was gonna go down there and see this, you know, these outtakes, you know, it just lifted my spirits instantly.
This episode was called The Carpool Lane. It was the 17th episode of season 4.
Oh, you should see the traffic. The only thing moving is the carpool lane. I'll never make it. I'm just gonna go home.
The episode was that I picked up a hooker in the carpool lane and took her to Dodger Stadium.
Hey, Daddy, you want a date with Mama? Monina, I got a red snapper that'll talk to you, Daddy.
Get in the car.
I had never seen the show. I'd never heard of the show. I didn't have HBO, so I didn't have any exposure to the show. I was a runner. I was a PA. You know, go deliver this here, go pick this up, bring it back to the office sort of thing. So I had no clue what I was getting into.
I knew that we were going to have to, find a baseball stadium and fill it with thousands of extras. And of course, he wanted to do the Dodgers since it's LA. That right there was a huge uh-oh.
We are part of the entertainment community in Los Angeles, and we do want to cooperate.
They came back and said, all right, here's what we could do. We showed up, I believe it was in the late afternoon, 4 or 5 o'clock was the call time.
Now, I didn't understand that. I was like, how are we going to shoot at a real game? This is crazy. I know the seats ain't way the fuck up here.
You got a problem with the seats?
You said we had good seat club seats and shit.
We shot in 2 sections. I don't know if they call it a grandstand at Dodger Stadium, the upper deck, I don't know.
It's very arbitrary where we were placed.
I never saw the cameras at the Dodger game. I don't know if people even knew people were filming.
We had a very, very long lens. The whole thing was we needed to be almost invisible.
I had to be in bad seats and then see Bob Einstein. He played Marty Funkhauser on the show.
So I went to the Curb Your Enthusiasm studios in Santa Monica, and I get put into an editing bay. And they had an engineer that was putting in these beta tapes one by one and playing them for me.
I remember it being chaos, to be honest with you. You've got 2 or 3 people trying to hold back thousands of people.
Midway through the game, my daughter asked me for, I don't remember, ice cream or popcorn, candy, something.
There was about 8 tapes, and we're putting in tape after tape after tape.
We went up to the concession stands and I bought her what she wanted.
We start to roll the scenes, and, you know, there's some shots of Bob Einstein.
Hey, Larry, I see you got a ticket.
Yeah, the seats really stink, though.
When I got back, there was a camera crew right on our aisle.
We weren't supposed to stop people from walking up and down the aisle, but if they didn't want to be on camera, we would say, you know, can you wait 1 minute?
Can I try that? Why not?
I grabbed my daughter's hand and I tried to walk down the stairs, but I was stopped.
You're not gonna let me sit there?
Not even for a minute.
These are paying customers. We can't hold them for too long of a duration.
It's only about maybe 6 minutes of tape on each of these beta tapes. And we're already on tape number 5 or 6, and I'm getting disheartened.
The same guy who stopped me, like, he looked over at me and then he was just like, hey, you know what? Just go ahead. And nobody was being let in.
Thanks.
I probably didn't even know that we were rolling the camera. And if I did, I was probably a shitty PA and let them through anyway.
I literally jumped out of my chair,
Literally sprung out of his chair,
and there's this gasp.
and there he was. Pretty cool.
Is that them right there? Wow.